So the other day, I was sitting there. My boss says bring his old pickup. And I'm sitting there, okay, I can do that. I got it. Taking it out to the shop. We had to move some of these farm equipment around. So I get to his house. And I'm starting thinking, wait a minute. Please don't be a manual. Please don't be a manual. I get there. I get into his house, grab the keys, and jump in the pickup. I look down, and there's a manual. I don't really know how to drive a manual. Luckily, my motorcycles taught me just enough about clutch control. I wish it was a hand clutch in that pickup. I would be hot rodding that around, but nope. But, it worked out. I didn't kill it. That is a very smooth transmission. And we're talking about, I think, early, maybe mid-2000s. I don't think it was an F-250. Maybe it was a 2500. But it is a big-ass diesel. And the transmission is so freaking smooth in this.
Really?
I didn't kill it. I didn't grind it. And I made it.
Yeah, it's not like, you can't consider yourself a pro until you can shift it without the clutch like your bike.
Most people cannot do that.
Yeah.
Most people can't do that on bikes.
I don't know. Our bikes make it easy.
Well, we got a slipper clutch on our bikes. But you get on my Yamaha, since it's a V-twin, they're very hard to do that. And most people say you shouldn't even try.
And there's people like Dylan who jump in a semi or jump in any vehicle and just like, shifting without a clutch is just as good as shifting with a clutch. It's better for the transmission if you just match the RPMs and clunk.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think we got some audio clip on that.
I think I just blew out some people's ears. Oh, sorry about that.
No, we're not.
Josh will cut it out or something with it.
Yeah, great. More work. No, actually, that guy, he said, "Oh, they grind gears all the time." I'm like,
yeah,
no.
He actively stated in his, it's like while he was driving the truck, he's like, yeah, no, my boss is like, we don't ever use the clutch in these trucks. We just, shift. You get it up to, shift. So there's no need to use the clutch. No one uses the clutch. And I'm like, no one? Really, Dylan? No one uses the clutch?
He over-exaggerates.
Or just you and your ghetto boss.
Well, I bought him a dash
boss.
cam, remember? Because he's telling us these wonderful stories about drifting a semi and stuff.
Drifted a semi. Although he said he drifted the semi, but it didn't have a trailer. He was just going on a dirt road. He didn't have a trailer. And he took the corner too fast, so he drifted it. I was like, well, I believe that.
Okay.
I just don't,
It's pretty easy to do it, but, he was clinching.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do it on purpose. But we never see videos of that.
No, never any videos.
He did get his trailer stuck on a railroad track.
Yeah, that did happen. Yes. I saw a picture of that, I believe.
I don't know if it was his fault, like his incompetence, or just it happened.
I forget the specifics of that event, man, but I don't know.
But he did get fired in the end. Less than a year of work.
Yeah. Did he get fired or did he quit? He got fired?
He got fired. Remember we were going to go pick up my welder that he took down there?
Well, I know they had... His boss said you couldn't pick it up because you're not Dylan. It's like, no, Dylan has to come get it. But
Dylan was yanking everyone's chain. He didn't really talk to him.
Yeah.
And probably didn't want to confront him either.
Yeah. Probably.
And, I probably could say, hey, look, this is my welder.
He's got a new job now in Arizona. I think it's his second or third new job in there. So.
And why does he keep changing? Okay.
I don't know.
This is probably not... Yeah, this is probably not too interesting for some of these listeners. But I'm Josh.
I'm Dalton.
And we're the two morons.
Yeah. I don't know. Rednecks doing redneck things is always interesting. I don't care who you are. You just watch a bunch of rednecks do redneck shit. It's always funny. It's always funny.
Well,
I
think
might
I've been
be
part
a
of that.
redneck.
Well, shoot. Dylan would do all those redneck things. I mean, he'll get on his 3-wheeler and show us why it's dangerous making it a 2-wheeler.
I'm going to be honest. I was a bit more dangerous on that thing than he was. For first time I got on that thing, we had this mound in the backyard. So I was like, oh, okay, what's this? So I went up to the top. I was going to, it's like I say, he goes up to the top of the mound and kind of just like rolls over the top. I'm like, no, I got this. I jumped the mound. I came crashing down like, boom. He's like, what the hell, man? What are you doing? I was like, hey, man, that was fun. I was like, I didn't mean to go that high, but, it all worked out in the end. I'm alive.
Why, I was a scaredy cat on that. But
Yeah, but
I never throttled down to shift.
I was always the type of person, like, on my pedal bike as a kid, it's like we would be on our way to school, or we'd be doing whatever. And it's like, specifically on my way to school, middle school, I believe, there was this hill in the way, this path. We would go up the hill sometimes, but there was this jump that everybody was so afraid to go. It was like a drop-off, but it was kind of rock or very compact dirt. So the drop-off wasn't a straight down. It wasn't angled out. It went in, right? So it was like a concave drop-off that went from the edge, went in, and then a gradual slope out into a ramp, and then into another ramp. And everybody was always so afraid. They're like, I'm not jumping off. I was like, what are you doing? So I'm on my bike. I'm riding up to it, standing up, like just looking over the edge, like pedaling parallel to the edge. I'm like, oh, you guys are afraid of that? Just popped a wheelie and went down. And I was like, and immediately everyone followed me. They're like, oh, that wasn't, they saw me do it and they're like, hey, that wasn't too bad. And then that was like our new favorite thing to do. It's just somebody's got to do something. It's like, I knew I wouldn't get hurt doing that. I've been riding my bike since I was 5 years old. And at the time I was 13 or 14, I'm like, I can make it down that. I was like, I'll be fine.
Well, if one of the other people went first, they probably would have hesitated, braked, or half-assed it, and probably hurt themselves.
I actually saw one of I saw somebody going down there. I don't think I knew who they were. Somebody tried it after, like, this was months after we'd been riding on it. I was riding home from school, and I remember looking back, and like I could see them up. I could see somebody getting ready to go, and then they went down. But I don't think it was their bike, because when they got close to the bottom, they were afraid of going off the jump at the end, which is, you have a ways once you hit the bottom of the hill to go off the jump. They started braking on the hill. They didn't use their rear brake. They used the front brake. Oh. They did a full front flip over, like got their feet were dragging on the, like that. They did a full front flip, like rolled onto their back tire came back up over, was landing, and then their feet were dragging behind the bike. And it's like, that's not, it didn't look fun.
See, probably the most, I guess, I can't call it reckless. I mean, I know it's pretty safe. I rock climbed all the time, and I was an instructor for the Boy Scouts.
I rock climbed all the time. Did you use gear?
Yes.
See, I never used gear.
Wow.
I also didn't have anyone really teach me how to rock climb. It was just my parents and I. It's like we would go out camping or hunting or fishing or whatnot out in the woods, and then my sister and I would just be like, ooh, look, a cliff. We're going to go climb that. Okay, you guys have fun. Or it's like, really, in reality, my parents would go fishing, and then me and my sister would just kind of walk around, wander around. Eventually, sometimes we see something, rocks, we want to climb them, so I'm going to go climb them. And then, when they're done fishing, 20, 40 minutes later at that spot, maybe the spot's not good, so they come up, we're like, we're going to change spots. And they get up to the car, they're like, Gary, Dalton, get down from there. What are you doing? You're going to get hurt. What if you fall? We're fine, Mom. We're fine. Like, no, you are not fine. Get down from there. And then, eventually we did it so often. They're like, okay, have fun. So we never got injured climbing anything, ever. I've never been injured from climbing something.
I've never had to fall back on my rope.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, I mean, if you are tied in, you're safer to rock climb than walking across the cornfield. You're more likely to get hurt walking through a cornfield.
Yeah.
Twist, fall.
I was going to say cornfields have a lot of,
they got bigger ridges.
Yeah.
And I'm also a Nebraska boy. You got to watch out for us children in the corn. We'll get you.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's probably one of the most dangerous things I can't say most dangerous. I mean, I've had machine gun fire over my head.
Yeah,
and enjoyed it.
Yeah. Really.
Well, it's not what all. I mean, it was called Nick at Night, so it's not real combat. They had machine guns firing and then fake
Was
explosions.
it blanks though, or was it real
It
rounds?
was live rounds.
Yeah, it's like whatever movie that is, or they're crawling through the
Full Metal Jacket,
yeah,
right?
I think it's Full Metal Jacket. He has an actual turret gun, right, that he's shooting over their heads, and he's crawling. Like he's like, I can't. Guy's having a panic attack. Sticks his head up.
Yeah.
Oh no!
But actually, in real life, I'm pretty sure it's set up. It'd be very hard for you to get shot in the head, and the people that are shooting are also watching for that.
Here's the thing:
they're shooting high enough.
I was gonna say, if you shoot 10 feet in the air, that's still gonna give you the effect of having a bullet go over your head, and like the crack of the bullet is still going past very close.
Oh right? Yeah, I mean, so I don't know how close it was. I wasn't going to
You're gonna. You could probably stand up. Shaquille O'Neal could probably stand up and not get hit with where they're aiming. I assume they're aiming.
I believe so. I think when I was doing it, they were using the Saw and the Big Brother, the Bravo. Mm-hmm. So 5.56 and then the 7.56. I don't know whether it was by. Yeah.
7.56.
I think it's 7.56.
7. Is that even a thing? I thought it's 7.62.
Well, that's
7.56. Yeah, but 7. I've never heard of 7.56.
You know, I didn't carry a Bravo round, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was 7.62. I'm pretty sure it was very close to AK round, but it was a different length, so you can't just put AKs rounds in.
Yeah.
We're going to have some military people that were armorers, which work with these, and they're going to be like, "Oh, come on!"
I'm surprised we haven't. Have you read the comments? I haven't had a chance to read any comments of any previous ones. Has anyone left any comments?
Well,
because I mean, I don't know. I feel like with everything that we're saying, because I by no means claim to be an expert on any subject, but that doesn't mean I can't ramble on about a subject. You know, I might know nothing about it, but I'll continue talking.
Well, it's kind of like this podcast. We're just rambling on.
We're just rambling on. You know, just see where it goes. But I mean, I assume there's some experts out there, or some people that just know a bit more that are like, "No, you got it completely wrong. That's not how any of this works." You know, that's the internet likes to be savage.
Well, you get like a couple different type of people. The know-it-alls that don't know it. The know-it-alls that know it. And then there's the people with low self-esteem that tries to feel better.
Well, obviously. Yeah. That seems to sum it up. And then there are some genuinely good people, but they're...
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. That's one I left off. But you know what? We're going to start putting these videos on YouTube. It'd be easier for us to get comments. I haven't done it yet.
I thought you were already putting them on YouTube, Josh.
No.
Josh, you have the thumbnails and everything. Just put that as the background. Upload the file. Come on, man.
I've been slacking, man. I've been slacking. I've been slacking. So...
I also make you do all the work, so...
Actually, probably the more dangerous thing with weapons and me, back in high school, we went out varmint hunting. And, you know, kids, I mean, we had probably guns. I mean, we were shooting probably way too close to each other. Shoulders and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, something could have went wrong. We're lucky everyone knew how to use a firearm and did it. But once you got a group of kids together, I mean, maybe not too well.
I honestly can't think of what the most dangerous thing I've ever done is. It's going to take, I mean, probably not the most dangerous thing. I've probably done some dangerous activities, but like the instance that I link to, which is usually the most, possibly the most potential danger that I've ever been in, was I was riding my pedal bike as a kid. I was going somewhere. I don't know if it was to a friend's house or whatnot, but there was this hill, other downward hill with another hill and an intersection, but I could clear the entire intersection with this hill. It was just a two-lane road without, like, equivalent of a two-lane road without the lanes. It was a residential road. Mm-hmm. And it's like I could clear it, and I could see from the top of the hill, I could see no car to the right, no cars to the left. I'm clear. And most of the time, it's like I always looked. I saw no cars. I was like, I'm good. And I went down the hill. And when I jumped the hill, and I got most of the way across the hill, I was like, obviously, since I can clear it, obviously I'm above the ground. I was at the truck. There was a truck essentially a few inches from my back tire as I'm clearing the road. It couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 inches away from my back tire. Like, its headlight, it was like probably a F-150, an older one, probably 90s maybe, F-150 at my, like, or at least that's what it looked like to me. I'm not a car expert, truck expert. 5 inches. The headlight was 5 inches from my rear tire. I'm like, that could have ended, and it's like I landed on the other side, got to the bottom of where the hill finished, because it was a hill, a ramp hill, and I got down there and I just stopped and I just like sat there for a minute and I looked back and I was like, whew, I could have just died.
You know what? On my motorcycle, the Yamaha, when I took the trip down to South Dakota, I had my GoPro. I recorded almost all the time I was on that. But I chose not to put it on for this day. I don't know why. I was kind of grumpy about that with the person I was riding with. So we're riding, and, we get to the point, and there's buffalo on the road. This guy, we got Bluetooth, we can talk to each other, decides to, he's on a Versus, I think a 600, 650 Versus. Yeah. I mean, it's a powerful sport bike. It's pretty nice. Touring, yeah. If you're tall, it's really nice.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at one.
I can't.
It looked like it would have been the perfect ride height for me.
I think it's taller than our KTMs. Yeah, our KTMs are high.
I think it sits higher, yeah.
But, okay, so he decides to blaze past it. I'm sitting on this big, heavyweight cruiser. And he's doing it, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to flip a U-turn if they charge me. I got to go do it. So I go, and I have to swerve around this buffalo. And I shit you not. I saw green snot dripping from the nose of the buffalo. I could have reached out and pet him. Or her. I don't know. But it was way too close.
Way too close.
That's probably...
You don't want to mess with those big animals, man. They will fuck you up even inside your F-250 lifted, it's like they're not afraid.
I think they had calves. Yeah. I think it was the season for calves.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's like a moose. Don't fuck with a moose. Just don't do it.
True, don't fuck with an animal, even if it's smaller than you.
Yeah.
I've seen raccoons try to take off people's...
Well, raccoons will get you because they got their hands,
Yeah. Those bandits try to...
Yeah. Trash pandas. Man. Raccoons are amazing. You ever just see an actually, healthy, clean raccoon that someone's keeping as a pet?
No, it's but they're really cool pets.
So yeah, they look like they're cool pets. They seem to be they're intelligent. They can problem solve. I don't know. They seem like just cool little critters. Although I'm still partial to cats. Give me a cat any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah.
I like my Great Dane.
Yeah, your Great Dane is too tall.
He's still growing.
Yeah, I know. You said that the other day. I come in, I'm like, God, you grew like another 3 inches, and you're just like, has he gotten bigger? A little bit later, you're like, yeah, Groot, have you gotten bigger? I'm like, he's definitely gotten bigger. Like, I walked in and I said he's gotten bigger.
He's still a puppy. He's got to be pushing maybe 150 to 160 right now at least. He might top over 180.
How big are they supposed to get?
It depends. I think 150 is a small size. 190 is a large.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a purebred, and from the breeder said, oh yeah, this is going to be probably the bigger puppy. But, she might say it to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a Great Dane, you know what, yeah, that's going to be a small one. No, you want to know it's going to be the big one. So it's one of those things, you'd probably be okay to say, yeah, that's going to be the big one.
I don't know why you would want the big one. I don't know why. He's sitting down on the couch and he just walks up to you, his drool face, just like, hello, at face level with you. Just like, here, let me slobber on you a bit. No, Groot, get away.
Or, hey, there's a lap. I can lay here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I fit on this couch. No, you don't. I'm already sitting here, dude.
No, I think there was once the couch was full and he decided to get up there.
Dude, I was sitting on the right side of the couch. You were sitting on the left side of the couch. I'm pretty sure he's tried to sit in between us. It's like he was sitting on both of us. It's like, Groot, you don't fit. Just stop trying. Dude, just
He's scared of everything. Like that Sprite bottle over there. Here, hand it to me. So this is a 2-liter Sprite bottle. I was just doing, and he was scared, running away, backpedaling. I mean, it was pretty damn funny. You were here for that, weren't you?
Yeah, he hid behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh God, run away. Ran to the door. I'm standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? He just stops next to me and like looks at you. I'm like, okay, Groot. Sure, if that scares you, you could bite that thing in half, Groot. What are you doing?
I'm waiting to see it next morning ripped apart.
That'd be hilarious.
It would. He wouldn't do that.
Sheila might.
Yeah, she keeps getting in trouble. So, other dangerous. I mean, I guess we totally went off subject. We were going to do something.
Well, we were going to start with something, but we just decided to roll with it. I mean, if you want to get back around to it, Josh, we were going to talk about scams.
Yes, and how they were still a horrible thing. I mean,
dude, the amount of people trying to scam nowadays is astronomically high. It's insane. I can't tell you how many phone calls I get. It's like, this is so-and-so from, okay, hang up. It's like most of the time I don't answer them. But occasionally I'm just like, oh, that's a number I don't even... It's like I don't even know where that area code is. And my phone's not telling me. So I answer. I'm like, hello? just to see. And it's like, oh, yeah, this is so-and-so from the DEA in Texas, blah, blah, blah. We've have some blah, blah, blah about you. And I'm like, yeah, never been to Texas. Bye. Click. Like, yeah, don't think so. Click. Well,
I love the one where you pick up, hello, this is from your Visa, MasterCard, or Discover card. You are able to get your rates down. Oh, so which card do I have? Visa, Master, Discover?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, technically, at one period of time, I had all 3, but now I don't. And don't try to scam me or find my cards.
I don't think anyone could.
No. Well, they could, but all they have to do is pay my bills. I'll be happy.
Man, people get creative with their scams, though. You know, it's like I remember this one scam. This is when I first moved out here. I moved out here because I came out here. I was initially just going to stay here on vacation, but then I ended up living here. And so I was sitting there. I didn't have my laptop. I didn't bring my laptop with me, so it was still back in California. And so I got a phone call, and I got a call, and I was like, it's an area code. That might be somebody trying to call me. So I answered, and he's like, hello, this is so-and-so from Microsoft. We detected a virus on your computer. I'm like, oh, yeah? The one that I'm using? Yeah? He's like, my desktop computer. He's like, yes, your desktop computer. I'm like, okay, one, didn't have a desktop, only had the laptop. So obviously he's lying to me right there.
And you can actually tell if it's desktop or laptop.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, are you in? He's like, do you have your computer with you right now? Or are you in front of it? I'm like, yeah, it's sitting right here. I'm standing in the kitchen table. I think I was eating, I forget. I was eating like some type of breakfast at the time. And he's just like, yeah. I'm just like, yeah, I got it right in front of me. No, I don't. I mean, it's 2,000 miles away on the West Coast, and I'm here in Kansas. It's like, there's no computer near me. No computer in the house. Nothing. I'm just like, yeah, I got it with me. And he's like, okay. I talked to that dude for a good 40 minutes before he realized I was fucking with him.
See?
I just wasted his time. I like doing that because if you're going to call to try and scam me and I'm not busy, I will absolutely spend an hour just making... Because the longer he's talking to me, the less time he has to scam somebody else.
True. Waste all of his time.
All of his time. I wasn't doing anything. I was eating breakfast.
I think I had one scam that called and said I won money, and they seemed legit. And I asked, "Okay, you got a website?" "Yes." "What is it?" Click. You just hung up on me.
Yeah.
And I tried to call him back, and it didn't work. I wanted my money. Come on, where's my money? Where's my money, bitch?
Where is my super suit?
Yeah. So, there's also my brother works for this company. And it gets to tax season. The HR lady got an email asking for all of the tax information. So someone did taxes for a lot of the employees there.
Well,
I mean, personally, that HR should have got fired. Just because he gave out personal information.
Well,
and someone did my brother's taxes for him.
People are real creative. You know, when I worked at Walmart, obviously constantly. I was never a cashier, but you can hear the ways that all the people who get through there are scams. People just walk in, obviously there's a basic change one. They hand you like 100, then say, oh no, they don't want to pay with that 100. They want to pay with the 50 or a few 20s or whatnot. And so it's like you've already handed them change, blah, 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 blah. And they'll try to do it before the drawers close. Because if the drawers close, typically you're not allowed to get more change. You have to send them somewhere else. If you've already handed them their change and the drawer is closed, they can go to the service desk to get change. If they want to break a bill, they can go to the service desk. You're not supposed to do it again. Transaction is over. But sometimes like the drawer's still open and they're like, oh no, can you get this? And so they just kind of try to swap out the bills and they'll just walk out with an extra $100 or something, or an extra couple $100 just because you didn't know how much you gave them already.
I think Netflix it was the something effect. Mm-hmm. This magician came in to a checker. He pulls out cash and is paying, and he's switching money back and forth. He does it so fast and so smooth, he was able to walk away with more money than what he came in with. Yep. And, if you don't know better, you're going to make that mistake. Mm-hmm. Like when I was working for a grocery store, a small one of affiliated foods, this person comes in. I get called to the register because this person's got the problem. We go into the office, me and the cashier, and she shows me the check. She's like, yeah, look, it looks like they printed it out. Nothing really good on the back. It's not cut out right. So, like, your checks are perfectly cut out.
Right.
So if a check is slightly up or down on it, chances are it's a fake. And it has that red print you press, no change colors. So, I probably could have called the cops and stuff, but we had it on video. This person was always in town. So I walked back and said, sorry, we can't take this check. Why don't you go to the bank? The bank can tell if this is real or not. Uh-huh. And, they didn't come back for a while. And I did report it.
Yeah, and then other scams, obviously the card scams, people asking for gift cards. Like they'll call pretending to be the home office or whatnot. One of them was actually, because everybody, all of the employees, especially, anyone at a cashier, cashiers, service desk, jewelry, I believe electronics sometimes, depending on which cash registers they have open, they've been taught not to give out gift cards over the phone, not to read the numbers off. If anybody calls you from home office, no one from home office will want to talk to you. Guaranteed, no one from the home office will ever need to speak to you. They will go through a manager. So don't ever give anything to anyone pretending to be from home office. And this one time, it was somebody called the store, right? Typically apparel answers the phone because I guess it's easier for them to answer the phone than some other departments. So apparel answers the phone, and the person says, hi, I'd like to speak to a member of management, please. Because that's a very common thing to do. If any employee needs to call into work, wants to call in sick, they call the store, they say, I need to speak to a member of management. You're supposed to notify the store. So they just say, that's business as usual, talking to a manager. Cool, transferred to a manager. So I think the manager, I'm not going to say who it was, picked up the phone. And he's like, hello, this is so-and-so, manager of blah, 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 whatever manager. How can I help you? And, what can I do for you? And the guy's like, oh, management? No, I wanted to talk to jewelry. I want to buy a piece. I want to see if I can reserve it. And so he's like, okay, yeah, let me transfer you. So he calls jewelry. He transfers the jewelry. He calls them ahead of time. He says, hey, I'm going to transfer a phone. Apparently they have some jewelry questions they want to get answered, right? Then when the person gets to jewelry and starts talking to jewelry, oh yeah, hi, I'm from the home office. We need some payment, blah blah blah, through gift cards. If you just go get the gift cards, activate them, and then read off the numbers on them, read them to me, and we'll get it all sorted out. You can buy them using this whatever account code, 97 whatever. They'll have account codes that you can put in on the thing, and it'll take it from the Walmart credit or whatnot. Walmart's account. And
so this is an inside job.
And a store. Well, they don't necessarily have to know. It's not too difficult to learn those things. You just pay attention while you're checking out. Or it's like people probably posted some of them online. But they can just. Yeah. I don't think it's too difficult. Like I even had a slip of paper that said like like I got something from Walmart. I got a reward for doing something, and it was like, okay, take it up there, and then it's like it says on the note, cashier, take it from account number this on that paper. It was a 3-digit account. It was just they used that, and it just did all the collection. But anyway, so yeah, this guy got, I think, $2,000 or $3,000 worth of gift card, just transferred and emptied them. It's like, because the person behind the jewelry counter was like, yeah, but it was transferred from management. So-and-so manager, they transferred the call. They said, help this person. So I assumed it was cleared. It's like, that's how creative they are. It's like he knows that if he just calls the jewelry station or calls whatever counter, they're going to say no. They're going to say, sorry, I can't do that, or they're going to go get a manager. So he's decided to speak to management first, and then just said, oh, no, I wasn't trying to talk to you. And then the manager transfers the call like nothing happened. And
yeah. And, that's
Walmart
not
gets
just a
scammed.
problem with Walmart or that type of stores. There's sometimes in larger companies, they do that because they'll see where it was transferred from. So they transfer up, then transfer down to get access to something they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens all the time. And the biggest thing is to just understand how these people work to avoid it.
Yeah.
And
that's what I mean when it comes to cybersecurity or security of information security. The most vulnerable point of your security will always be the people.
Yeah.
No matter what, it is always easier to like phish or scam or somehow pull information from somebody else, some unsuspecting person in a company, as opposed to actually trying to get into the accounts and get access that get computer access that you're not supposed to have. It's almost always easier to go through a person.
So yearly, United States Army, at least yearly, they go over cybersecurity. They talk about all the different types of scams, like phishing is a big one, and spear phishing. And that's where phishing is like they send out a blast email saying, hey, you won $1 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Or your Visa card's expired, send us
hey,
this.
Something's wrong, we need you to enter this, and they'll send that out to hundreds of thousands of people,
And then spear phishing is like they get information. Dalton Kelly, they know your name, and somehow they know your account with First National Bank of Iran or something.
Sure, yeah.
We need to talk about that.
Oh, yeah? Are we talking about Iran? Okay.
No, your bank account, then no.
Oh, okay.
He don't have a bank account. But they got that information, so they use his personal name and maybe some information that's personal, like what bank account, or they know that he has Amazon or he drives this car.
Which...
And it's very easy to get that information on dark web.
I mean, not even dark web. Just if you know where to look for, like, for example, Google keeps track of all your, everything. You can pull all of the data Google has on you. You can request it. If you log in with your Google account, you go to this thing, you can request it. They will email you all of the information they have on you. And you would be surprised how much they have. Stuff that you'd think wasn't even connected to your account, wasn't connected to accounts in any way, and they still have it because of cookies or whatnot. What else? And some trace somewhere links it back to the other, whether it be an IP address or this or that or this, and they just know it's you. People can pay for that information through various services. Anybody that wants to pay for people's information, they can do it.
For sure, Google does not leak that information.
Google, I don't think Google does,
or
but there are several other there are several. Parsing and all this stuff. It's like anything you put on Facebook, especially if it's public, anything that you make public ever, assume somebody has saved it somewhere.
But if you're not using a secure Tor browser, it is there. Even if you use the incognito or private mode in your browser, it does get documented.
I mean,
it just doesn't save the cookies or where you went on your local thing. But you know what? You can get into your router. You can find where everyone has looked stuff up. Your router saves it. It's just not saved on that desktop. Yeah. So if you don't use a Tor browser
or VPN,
Tor browser still logs into the router. The router still can track where you go.
Well, except no, because the Tor browser is encrypted. It's peer-to-peer. It starts an encryption from your Tor, and then it gets decrypted at the exit node. So it gets encrypted, then passes through all of the different nodes on the Tor network, the peer-to-peer nodes on the Tor network, and then it gets unencrypted. It gets decrypted at the exit node. Your request is made, then it sends the request back to the same exit, or back to the Tor network node, and then it gets re-encrypted and sent back to you. So if you're using Tor browser, your router and your ISP, they can see that you're using they can see that you're sending traffic through the Tor network. They can't see what it is because it should be encrypted. Same thing with a VPN. If you're using a VPN, your local machine encrypts it. It gets sent through your router to the VPN server. Then it gets unencrypted to the VPN server, sends it out, and then it gets sent back, re-encrypted, and sent to you, and then you decrypt it on your home machine. And that's typically how all that works. And it's very easy to find a VPN or find some network that just that doesn't track. Like there are multiple that have third-party testing. They go through the code, they make sure none of it's tracked, none of it's saved, so I mean it's very easy to hide what you're doing from your ISP or your router if you don't want someone to see it. Or if you're on a public network, people say, oh, why do you need to hide anything? You shouldn't need to use a VPN. You shouldn't need to hide anything if you're not doing anything wrong. Well, that's just a basic flaw of human privacy. Everybody does something in their own time that they don't want somebody else to know about. Everybody. Every human being likes their privacy. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
There's not a single infallible person on this planet. It's like whether it be even if it's not illegal, it's like you might not want to know.
Yeah.
But also public, if you connect to a public Wi-Fi, anybody else that is on that public Wi-Fi can see, if they know what they're doing, they can see all the traffic on that router.
Oh yeah.
They can see all the traffic. They can even sometimes connect to your machine directly if you don't have remote access blocked. They can get right in with no problem. Yeah. They can see your screen. And it's like if you're using a VPN on a public network, they can see that they can see you on the network. They can see that you're sending traffic, but it's all encrypted through the VPN.
Well,
so
shoot,
they can't
you
actually
get one
see
email, you click that link, they can use any part of your computer.
That's why if you're on a public Wi-Fi or public whatever, it's like you should never input passwords. You should never input any.
Don't buy anything from Amazon.
Don't put
or
any
eBay.
plain text information, any personal information in plain text, and send it over the internet ever.
They'll track the keys.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do. And it might seem scary, but it's pretty simple to protect yourself.
It's very easy to protect yourself.
I've never had my Facebook stolen or anything like that.
I don't think I've ever been scammed or had a password stolen. I think I had a password. Some service I was using had their accounts hacked, and a few services that I've used have like it given advisory statements. Hey, everyone should change their passwords. Some of them may have been leaked. That's happened like 3 times, I think, in the past to me. It's like I get an email, you should change your password. It's possible that it had been leaked. Only one time did I actually notice, hey, somebody actually logged in.
It wasn't you.
And it wasn't me.
But
that was because their service had been leaked. They didn't make the announcement yet. I noticed. I was like, hey, I didn't log into that. So I changed my password. I made sure all my security was good, my 2-factor authentication. I made sure it was all still good. Checked my email. My email was good. I changed my email password. That password, I changed one other password that they might have been related. But it's like, because they were kind of derivative passwords. And I changed them all. And then a month later, the service put out an email like saying, hey, you should change your passwords. We think there's been a breach. It's like, yeah, the breach was a month ago. I know because I had someone else log into my account. Hello?
That happens all the time.
Like you should put that out there as soon as you know. You should put it out.
Did you report someone logged in that you didn't know?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes it takes time for law. Yeah. Think about Facebook. Facebook probably gets a report someone stole my account all the time, and a lot of those are people just forgetting the password,
right,
and not knowing what to do. Or they give out the password to their girlfriend or boyfriend. But, going back, it's very easy to find information without even doing the dirty stuff.
Yeah.
You got a Facebook page. Chances are, I can click on one person and go around and find a person that doesn't have their thing locked. And I'll be like, I'm your brother or your uncle or nephew or something.
You don't even have to do it manually. People like to think, oh, these people are going around looking for specific information. They're not. They're creating a spider that parses the internet. So they'll parse Facebook. Any public account, they can parse. Like they will have, they just set all the different requirements. If the requirements are met, they go from page to page to page. The thing just keeps clicking on links until it finds something that that you have already designated as useful, and then it just keeps going with it. It collects all the useful information, and then you have it all. It's just you have gigabytes or terabytes of information about various different people. It's like you had to write a script. It's very simple to do. It's not difficult to create a parser at all. It's not difficult to get information on anyone.
Okay, I'm not going on too much of a tangent here. Like, I used to play EverQuest, MMO. It's a game for people out there that don't know. And the old school MMOs, you get in a group of people together, and you usually talk to them, then invite. Now, new ones, you just walk through and you just get invited to join a group.
Yeah.
And what I do all the time is I deny that. I'm like, I don't know you. You didn't talk to me. Deny. Same thing with Facebook. Just because you're a friend with Dalton over here on Facebook, chances are I'm not going to just say yes to invite you, because this is what's happened once to me. And luckily they didn't come out trying to fish for anything, or maybe they were and I wasn't their target.
You just weren't interested.
I had a friend. We always called him Scooter. And there's this hot looking girl. That's one thing they do. They find a person that looks really attractive to one of their targets. So this hot little girl invited me, and I'm like, oh, she's friends with this guy, this guy, this guy. I'm like, okay, I didn't know her, and I invited her. That's how some people can do it. You just because she's friends with someone else, you got to ask, who's this, who's that? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's very easy to find people that have more than one account, and that's really dangerous. They lost their password, so they don't delete their old account. So that old account may end up in someone else's hand. Like, if someone stole your password, don't go to a different account, because you now have an account with all your personal information on it, your pictures, and they could be mimicking you.
First things first, I'd like to say, how dare you make these people think I have a Facebook? What is wrong with you? You put Dalton and Facebook in the same sentence?
You do have a Facebook. Your sister made it
that's
10
true.
years ago. And you've been on it?
Probably
once?
3 times.
3 times.
Yep. I looked at it. She's like, here, I made you a Facebook. I'm like, why would I want a Facebook? She's like, here, look at it. So I opened it up. I looked at it for, logged into it maybe 3 times and was like, yeah, I hate this. It's like, I don't like this at all. Why would I care about any of this? And that was even back when Facebook was not horrendous. Like, right now it's just shit. But it's like, back then it wasn't complete shit. I looked at it and I was like, no, I don't care what. It's because mainly back then it's like I couldn't care less. Even now, a lot of times I couldn't care less about what other people are doing.
But Facebook,
family, friends, and friends of family, and I'm just like, who are you? I don't care.
You can call me if you want to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't stay.
But
on Facebook.
Onto your account, onto your thing about don't just create a separate account. Yeah, I'd absolutely try to recover. You want to try to recover your account.
Facebook makes it easy,
especially if it has your personal information. Most things make it easy if you have your connected email, which you should always have your connected email. Like, for example, I have an email that is a spam email, then I have a good email, and then I have a financial email. Right? I have a spam email, I have an important email that's not financial stuff, and then I have an email account specifically for financial stuff that I keep locked down. Like, it's got a password stronger than every other account.
I got my personal email.
But it's like I recently lost access to my Reddit account, which, if you know me, I don't go on social media, right? I browse Reddit.
Yeah.
I don't upvote. I don't downvote. I don't comment. And I don't post. I have zero karma. I've had an account for like 7 years. and which is interesting, I just sit there and browse. But having an account is easier for browsing because you can save subreddit lists, you can save things, there are various different features from having an account. But it's like I had that account and it got suspended not too long ago. For whatever reason, it said it was suspended because potentially it was being used for some botting, or somehow I think somebody, like, they mistakenly thought my account was being used for like it was hacked and was being used for propaganda, essentially. Like, they try to ban those accounts. Bans that are just like clearly fake accounts, people just trying to push advertisements and agendas. They will actively ban those because it's like this is not this is not what it's for. You don't. This is useless. Like or troll accounts or people like wildly. People use alt accounts to downvote and whatnot, or upvote, or make sure certain things make the front page, or try to
But how
alter the social. But it's like my thing.
You never do anything on it.
No. And I sent them. I went through their entire support thing, which by the way is terrible. I did the forgot your password thing. It says, okay, we're gonna send you an email to blah 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 to reset your password. Clicked on the thing, no email. Clicked on it again, no email. Waited an hour. Clicked on it again, still no email. Waited 24 hours, no email showed up. So I was like, okay, clearly I'm not receiving the email. So then there was another section. If you're not receiving the email, then that means your account has been suspended for this reason. You need to go through the support to try and get your account unsuspended. So I created a support ticket. I filled it out. I said, I don't post, I don't vote, I don't comment. I have not made anything. Like I've saved a few things, and I may have accidentally upvoted a thing or two, but I don't do enough there's no reason my account should have been suspended.
7 years.
There's no reason my account should have been suspended. All I do is lurk. I just browse posts. I don't do anything else. And I set that out, and I got an automatic response saying, if you've forgotten your password, please click this or please go to this and click the reset link. It's like I've already done that. So naturally, it's like this automated response has a reply field at the top. It's like reply above this line. So I replied to that automatic bot, knowing no one's going to actually respond to me. It's like why'd they send me an automatic response when I went through all of those steps just to get to the support ticket page? Like I'm at the page where I'm trying to write a support ticket that'll go to another human being. Why does it go to an automated response? Why do I get an automated response and then no response when I reply? It has a reply section. How come I can reply to it and get no response? But anyway, I could just make a new account, but it's principle at this point. I don't want to make a new account. That's my damn Reddit account. I want it.
Okay. I don't have a Reddit account. I think I got a Pinterest account. Maybe.
That's not even close to the same thing, I don't think.
No.
I don't use Pinterest though, but I don't think it's
there's a lot of pictures on it.
Yeah.
Like if you are in the hobby or something. But yeah, well,
I also have a Twitter account that I don't use.
I got a Twitter account.
I don't think I've ever made a single tweet on Twitter. I just, it's just neat for updates. It's like people are putting out videos because I consume a lot of media online. So people put out a video, people live streaming, people are doing something. I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. It's like I'll occasionally see a notification. It's like, yeah, I might want to tune into that.
Yeah. YouTube's probably one of my more active accounts, but I sit and watch YouTube. Well, to you watch YouTube like I used to watch cable TV.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just absorb content. I've been watching a fair amount recently. I just see what did I just finished watching Mr. Robot. Got caught up with that. Let's see. That's not YouTube. That's just regular TV.
Yeah.
And all the animes, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, all that nonsense. And then, what am I watching now? I think I have. Have you started The Witcher? Have you played the games?
Yeah.
See, I've never
beaten one.
I never played the games. Witcher 3 looked like a lot of fun, but I just at the time I just got too bored from gaming.
They're
this.
really good built games.
I could play a game and I'll play it for 3 hours and I'm already bored of it. And it's like I used to be able to play a game for hours and hours and hours on end. Days and days and weeks. I'd have one game and I'd play it over and over again. Now I just can't play a game for longer than 3 hours. I mean, we're playing Diablo. But...
Yeah, I mean, I wish you'd go back to Borderlands.
I've never played The Witcher, but people are freaking out online about the show. So I'm obviously going to have to watch it. And I love fantasy. So I'm real big into fantasy shows. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's as good as everyone says.
I don't think they really captured The Witcher that well.
See, now people are saying that, but I've seen two different arguments for that. People are saying that this Witcher is based off of the book Witcher and not the game Witcher. Because the books came out first, they inspired the games, and then, also inspired the movies. This is based off the book. In the book Witcher, like, for example, his beard, like in the game, he grows a beard, right? The Witcher. People are freaking out that he doesn't have a beard. But in the books, apparently, The Witcher actively says he hates having a beard. Like, he can't stand the beard.
See, that's probably why I couldn't put my thumb on it. He just didn't look like The Witcher right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it's good. I haven't finished it.
Yeah.
I started it, and I started Doctor Who.
Well,
the new season started.
See, I don't know.
But I don't like how it's set up. I liked it when it was on Netflix. Amazon makes you buy this, and then the specials is.
I don't like. It's like, especially like, I like the Amazon Prime Video. Right, it's very convenient, especially for shows that are already out and have been out for a while. It's usually free. You just go watch it. I don't like the new shows. It's like, oh yeah, pay for this new show, or wait a while for it to become free. It's like.
Yeah, why do I want to pay for something that's going to be free?
Yeah.
But the difference is, if they ever stop streaming it, you should still have access to it. But it's not always the same case, because there's been some stuff that has been streamed, mostly on video games. You purchase it, and then it gets removed for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose that download, you're not able to download it again because they lost a contract to host it.
Or, yeah, see? Well, or you purchase it, and then you just pirate it and download it yourself and have it. That way, you bought it, you own it.
It's not pirating.
Yeah, you paid for it, now you just have it.
It's like DVDs, you're supposedly are able to make one copy of it.
Yeah.
Or something, but then again...
That shit never worked. It's like, you can only make one copy of this DVD. Or like the Redbox DVDs, it's like they're supposed to be able to detect if you've copied it. It's like, I had a teacher. One of my computer classes when I was in school, was like, he walked into the room with 3 Redbox CDs that he had gotten for free because he free renting for a day. They send out codes to get you to come back and watch their movies, use their service. If you keep it for a day, 24 hours, it's free. If you hold it longer than that, it costs money. So he just went and just put it into the computer and just copied the movie. It's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm getting the movie. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, there's no way for
like,
Redbox...
then I can take it back, and then I can watch it later, and I don't have to pay for it.
There's no way for Redbox to know if you copied that one DVD unless there's a code on that DVD that Redbox put on, which I don't think they would have. They would have to put a code on, so when you copied it, it'd put a file on your computer. Because when you copy a DVD, you're not writing to it.
No.
There's programs where DVDs are formatted sometimes to prevent proper copying. There's one where it will scramble the order of the scenes.
Yeah.
Where you can't watch it, or somehow move something around so it's faded out.
I also think it's interesting that people, freak out about this shit being copied, but it's like, you remember when VCRs first came out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. VCRs, it's like, oh yeah, you just plug this VCR in. So, I'm going to be honest. When did VCRs come out?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's like they probably came out before I was born, to be honest. But
yeah, definitely.
So it's like, I mean, you put it's like, yeah, just put a tape in. You're watching a show, you hit record, and it starts recording your TV. Surprise, surprise, then you have that show or movie or whatever. But it's like, then they had, VCR to DVD. I had one of those in my living room. You could take a VCR, an old tape that you had, and you can convert it to a CD or a DVD. Mm-hmm. Or it also worked vice versa. You could put a VCR or DVD in, it would play it to your TVT and record it to a VCR while it was playing.
Well,
record it to the tape while it was playing. But it's like, people freak out about, oh no, you shouldn't be able to just download this shit. You shouldn't be able to just, record that and you watch it for yourself. It's like, then why did a VCR become popular?
Legally, you can just record stuff on cable TV, but once you sell it or produce or send it out somewhere else, that's when you break the law. You can record a show that is broadcast for your own personal use.
Which, people are like, why would you, pirate that? Or it's like, sometimes I will specifically torrent things just because the download option on whatever service is shit. I'm paying for the service, but the quality or streaming is shit, so I want to download it. And they don't offer to download, so I just download the Blu-ray or 1080p version. I download it and then I have it at good quality. It's like, why would I want to limit the quality that I'm watching a product at when they're just because your streaming service is shit? Yes, I'm already paying for the movie. I'm paying for it with your service. So I just download that shit. I'm just like, I'll just watch it. I don't care.
I think that's a lot of gray period.
It's like the only thing I'm using it for is because I want to watch a quality movie. You know, it's like I could watch your movie with a shit bit rate and, you know, the whatever the quality on the streaming, or I could download it and watch it significantly better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with my streaming here.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, it's a few services. I don't even remember the service. There's a few years ago that it was mainly the ones that I didn't like. I mean, it's like if I'm paying for a service, I expect quality service. Yeah. And it's especially when it's the only option. Because nowadays, you know, people are trying to go to exclusives, but some people are just doing it so poorly.
Well, shoot. I mean, how many times do you sit there and these people are posting these videos on even YouTube of them sitting in a movie theater with the camera shaking, and then, they duck down, and I'm like, really?
I mean, even that, which I find interesting, is like people will oftentimes won't even like I don't think I've ever seen a movie like that where the camera was ever moved. It's like the camera is usually sitting right there pointed at the screen, and it's just sat there the whole time. You hear laughter, you hear clapping, you hear that.
I think sometimes it's
sometimes they'll even
operators.
Sometimes they'll even like a lot of the times when you see a video on the sites pirated, it's like this movie came out 2 days ago and it's already on there and being pirated. Guarantee you with 100% certainty that was uploaded by somebody who works in a theater and was sent and like has the file. They just recorded it and put it up. Yeah. It has the official audio track. It has the official, you know, it's like very simple.
Well, it's not, I mean, a lot of the
it's got the subtitle track there with it. It's just like, no, okay. I guess that's
they use digital format nowadays. I don't know if it's a special encoded, encrypted format.
Yeah, they just upload it. I mean, some theaters still use film, but a lot of it's digital. Most of it's digital, right?
I'm pretty sure, especially when you get into the real 3D.
Yeah.
There are special digital cameras or projectors.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a problem. If it's the same thing with like music, right? The music industry, when people first started pirating, what was the sharing service in the early 2000s? Livewire. There was one before that.
Well, I think Livewire changed its name multiple times.
Okay, it might have been Livewire. I thought
because it's Tap something too.
No, I thought there was one before that. Way before that. It's like where it's literally peer to peer. You upload a file and everyone on there can see the file and can search for the. No, not Pirate Bay. It's not a torrenting thing. I don't believe. It was just you have for example, you have all your music saved to a folder on your machine.
Yeah. You
designate that folder, and you upload it. And you upload all of your music is now on that service. And this was a legitimate company that was doing this. They made this service. It was essentially just a sharing service, a sharing platform for music. The music industry obviously hated it because it's like, well, so they can just share it, then they're not going to pay for it.
You're stealing money from the artist.
But the music industry didn't realize people just wanted easier access to music. People wanted to just be able to download their music. And that's why the music industry now, iTunes, that sharing platform was a large inspiration to, I believe, iTunes. The initial where you would buy music from online. The iTunes was mainly the first, where now you can just pay for iTunes and you have all that music.
Yeah,
which is like that. That was what it's like. People don't necessarily care about paying for it. They just wanted easier access to it. You don't want to have to go to the store, buy a CD, just let me download it. And it took forever for the music industry to catch on. It's like if you actually just started to make a platform and charge people for it, the pirating will go down because your platform will most likely be easier to use than this other platform.
That's one of the nails in the coffin for Hastings Bookstore is the music. Once CDs stopped being bought, and I mean they lost a good portion of their sales, and then your books, you can get from Amazon. And their rentals were not the best rentals because they charged a lot of times. Their prices were overpriced. Their video games were overpriced.
Everything's overpriced. Video games are. I don't know. I'm fine with $60 for a video game if it's a good video game.
But you can save $5 by going to GameStop, or maybe $7 going to Walmart.
I just don't like GameStop. I don't think I've ever liked GameStop.
GameStop is known to screw people over. Yeah. Speaking about scams, GameStop has been doing that. I wouldn't want to work for that company as a low employee because they are told to push these products, and I don't believe in a pushy salesman.
Or you get a game for Christmas, right? I got a game for Christmas that I already had, so I took it to GameStop because there was nowhere else in town that I could take it. So it's like I took it to GameStop and said, "Hey, I'd like to sell this game." It's like I just got it for Christmas. It was bought at a Walmart. It's brand new. The plastic has not been taken off of it. They're like, "We'll give you $20 for it." I'm like, "Hello? It's a $60 game." They're like, "Yeah, we'll give you $20 for it." I'm like, "Okay, bye."
Should have just took it back to Walmart.
I don't think there was a Walmart. I think there was a Target, but not a Walmart at where I was living at the time. But it's like I immediately took it and I sold it to somebody when I got to when school started the next year. I just took the game to school and was like, "I'll sell this to you for $45," because it was essentially still brand new. Probably could have charged $60, but I charged $45, and ta-da! It's like it was much easier to do that, just sell it myself, than bring it to GameStop and be like, "Yeah, we'll give you $20 for it." No. No. Like, are you insane?
Black Friday, I won a Wii U game, and I didn't have a Wii U, and I took it to GameStop. And GameStop, they'll try to sell you a trade-in game. You sit there, trade-in game sometimes is not cheaper there. It's actually more expensive. There's some cases the real game has dropped down past that trade-in.
Yep.
And they screw people over on the trade-ins. All those games are worth $2.50, and they turn around and sell it for $15 or $20.
Oh yeah.
It's
half
not
of them
that
don't
good.
even have the cover art on the box. It's like you just see the case, and it's just some piece of paper with the title written on it in pencil.
I got a whole bunch in my thing. My rule one is I will never trade in the games.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You'll lose it, and you want to play it later. And you're not going to make enough money to.
I usually don't. Usually when I'm done playing a game, I don't really usually go back to it. There are some games that I just continuously go back to, but most games, it's like I play it, and then I'm done with it.
And there's some games that somehow intrigue me, and I play it all the time.
Right.
And there's some games that are really good games. I beat it once, and I'm done.
Then again, but I also like the weirdest games. One of the games that I continuously go back to over and over, it's like every few months I'll load up a new character on it, is Realm of the Mad God.
Oh, that's still going?
Yeah, that game's been out for a while. Long time. It's an 8-bit shooter, like top down essentially, or at a 45-degree angle, depending on which one you choose. And it just, you shoot in the directions. You have the different classes, and they have different abilities. You have a fire, you have a main attack, and you have a special attack, essentially. And you have your, obviously health potions, mana potions, whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's a very simple game, item collection game. You have a pet, which, it's like, God, it takes forever to level up my pet now, because your pet spans across all characters. You put a new character on, you get to use your old pet. So it's like if you have a pet that's really good, obviously it takes a long time to level them up because they're persistent. But my God, it's like I just keep going back to that game. It's a little 8-bit game. It doesn't seem like the game that most people would go back to, but it's like one of those ones. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna play Realm.
See, for games like that, I like EverQuest, even the old EverQuest, and EverQuest 2. But then again, I got nostalgia for EverQuest.
I still have Counter-Strike. I still have CS:GO and Gary's Mod. I used to play Gary's Mod all the time, all the different game modes, Prop Hunt, TTT, all that jazz. That was fun.
I got those, but I barely played them.
That was a fun 2 years of being absorbed by Gary's Mod. But it's like I still have Counter-Strike. I still have CS:GO on my save downloaded on my computer that I barely ever play. And most of the time, when I go back to it, I load it up and I go to a surf server. I don't even play Counter-Strike. I go to a surf server. That's what I just prefer, surfing. In a game about shooting people, I'd rather be surfing.
Let's see. Oh, talk about 8-bit game. There was one I found. It
I
was
see Ark on there. Is that the game? Or is that
Ark. Where?
something else? Never mind. To those of you that are curious, we're looking at Josh's desktop right now.
It's scrambled. I'm sorry. It's
You got
actually the best I've
Math
ever
Blaster on there? Wow.
Mint. That's what it is. And okay, that is not the right Mint image. For some reason the logo's thing. Mint was actually a great kind of, it felt like Legend of Zelda style overhead, but yeah, every 1 minute or 2 minutes your character will always die.
Right. Oh, yeah. Or
It's called Mint.
Yeah, the 20. I thought it was 20 minutes. You had 20 minutes, or
No.
maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but you can go through. You can beat it, or you can. There are like a ton of different ways to end. Ways. To, yeah.
And,
You just replay it over and over and over again. And they're like, if you go one direction, you might get a code that opens something in another direction, right? You might learn something to get through another area, but you won't be able to get to it on this run. So you have to memorize it. You have to remember it, or write it down, or do something, and then you can go back and get it on the next run.
I don't know that I've beat it once.
There's some of them like on there that is like you get a code to a door, but you can't. If you go to the direction to get the code to the door, you can't make it back to get to the door.
You die.
You will die.
And
so you
go
have
back
to you have to restart, and
point.
then so you have to restart and do it all over again. Except this time you don't go to the code to the door. You already have the code to the door, so you just go to the door.
Yeah, you don't have to write down that code though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
Fair
just sometimes you move back and forth between different respawns, and there was a point where you found a fast travel between the respawns. But yeah, it was actually pretty good. That was one of the last low graphic ones. I mean, I can't say low graphic, but it's
right.
The old school style. But and it's just like the new Star Wars that came out. Everyone's raving. EA did a good job. No, they didn't. It was too short. The ending didn't feel right. The only reason they're getting praised is because they put out very lousy games, and they put out this game that
the new Star Wars game.
Yeah,
people are freaking out about that game. They say it's amazing.
But
also,
it's not.
I had no problem with the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It was it was a good Star Wars movie to me.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like Star Wars.
Well, why didn't it feel like Star Wars? It had
because
all of the elements of a Star Wars movie.
The problem with the new main three is a plot. What is happened? Not good. Yeah. There's so many plot holes.
The first and the second one of the new trilogy were not amazing.
Solo was better.
I liked Solo. I liked Rogue One. I liked them both better than the new trilogy. But this last movie in the trilogy, I mean, to be honest, the things with Kylo Ren, it's like kind of saw that coming.
Yeah,
they were.
Oh, spoilers alert!
I mean, we're not spoiling. I'm just saying I saw it coming. Like they were leading up to it. You could see what was going on with his character. It was pretty obvious.
I knew the direction. I just didn't know how far they were going to go.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious he was struggling, and I think a lot of like the only question that people were sticking to is what's going to happen to Rey. But I mean, Rey is. If you watch her, she's consistent. She's somewhat consistent throughout the other two movies. It's pretty obvious to see, and then it all happens, and it's like, yeah, that played out how I kind of expected it to. There were a few things that were slightly different, but it was a Star Wars movie. Yeah. It was somebody with force powers, or two people with force. So one person in particular with force powers going off and doing some force power shit.
But what I'm saying is the problem with the new main three came out is. The story really never changed.
Yeah.
It reiterated and rewrote some of the plot, but the plot was pretty much the same.
I wish
First one, Death Star.
Yeah.
Second one, running away from.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I wish they would have done something different. They didn't have to follow.
And third, the ending was kind of close to the first.
Yeah, they didn't have to follow the original trilogy, but it's like they definitely could have made their own story, but it is its own story. And the last movie I thought was decent.
It wasn't.
I thought it was good. I don't know. Did you enjoy watching it?
I enjoyed it, but
see, this is the problem I have with you because I will recommend a show or something that I really enjoy. And it's like 2 minutes into watching the show, you're like, oh, so this is a ripoff of this. It's like The Magicians. You know, you watch the first 2 minutes of that movie, 5 minutes, you're like, oh, so it's a ripoff of Narnia. I'm like, would you shut up, please, and just watch? Just stop thinking, stop analyzing, watch.
Hey, I got my wife. She's waiting for the next season to come out.
God, it's so good, Josh. You got to finish it.
And, you know, for some reason, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I think I just heard my wife yell from the other room about it.
Absolutely. She made a comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. You think you can edit all this?
Yeah, it's going to take me like an hour and 100 years.
An hour and 100 years? Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
There's 100 years between now and Monday?
No, I got the time machine. That's why I can slack off even more.
Yeah? You gonna share that with me? You're gonna share that with the stock trader over here? Come on.
You know.
Give me that. I'll go look at some prices beforehand. Just record all the data, bring it back.
I'll give you $20 and make it into $1 million.
Wow.
Oh, how's your day trading going?
Going good. Still making money.
That is good. That is good.
Yeah. Still making on par with old job. So you know, that's all I really need is for it to be on par with the job.
Difference is you're working 28 less hours.
So that would be 12 hours, working 12 hours a week.
Oh, you were actually 40 hours?
Yeah, I was 40 hours.
You were that rare Walmart employee that worked 40 hours.
Yeah, I was full time, 40 hours a week at Walmart. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually worked the full 40 hours. I think my paycheck, which should have been 80, was usually 78 or 79. So I usually shorted myself hours because I took a longer lunch.
Oh, well.
Which they don't really care about. You take an extra 10 minutes take an extra 10, 20 minutes as long as you get your work done.
So let me rephrase it. You work about 4 hours in a week?
Well,
about 4 hours out of the week.
Let's see. So
to make the same amount of money.
Yeah, sometimes I start because I always start trading at 8:30. So sometimes I'm done by 9. Sometimes I'm done by 9:30. I don't think I've ever made it past 9:30 when I'm done trading. So yeah, I can. So yeah. Yeah, 4, 5 hours.
See, I was better with blue chip stocks and stuff, but for you need about a decent amount of money set aside for your type of trading. I've tried it with less. I made profit, but then I got screwed in.
If you can't buy enough to, and I'm not strictly doing stock trading. I'm, for the people listening, I'm doing option trading. I buy options, I sell options. That's what I do. It doesn't matter if it's call option or a put option. I buy the option and then I sell the option.
That actually might be a good second episode.
So it's like if you have $10,000 in your account, $10,000 cash in your account, you're looking at $1 option or a $2 option. Let's go with the $2 option. You buy 10 options that costs $2,000. So now you have $8,000 in your account left to trade with, $2,000 that you just used. And then you close out that trade and you continue going with your 8,000. And your 8,000, it's like you buy another $2 contract, $2 option, 10 of them. That's another 2,000. So 10,000 divided by 2, 5 trades in one day. You can make 4 trades in a day, depending on how much the options cost, 3 to 5. And you make money. Yeah. If you can predict the stock, and the reason I do options is because I can watch 2 specific stocks. So I can just, watch the stocks, learn the stocks, buy the options, sell the options, make money, profit.
Okay, before you guys go out and start trading options, you got to also know Dalton took almost a full year of practice trading. Maybe 6 months actually.
I worked at Walmart for 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at option trading before I started working at Walmart. The reason I started working at Walmart was because I ran out of money and I wanted to save my money so that I could do stock trading. So it's like I have more experience. It's like, yes, I took breaks in the time while I was working. I took several breaks in the time while I was working at Walmart, but I was always learning. It's like I learned quite a bit. But the resources are out there. If you think you're capable of learning, learn it. That's it's something I mentioned in I think the first podcast we did. If you want to learn something, learn it. The resources are there. You just gotta know how to learn.
YouTube is very good at learning on stuff.
YouTube and Google are your best friend. You have all of the world's knowledge in the palm of your hand, literally.
Yeah.
Just look it up. You can do it. Well, I think it's, yeah, hour and 15 minutes, Josh. That's a good time to wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm Dalton.
I'm Josh.
Thanks for listening to the Two Morons Podcast.